these nades going to land?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. CT's covered temporarily. Juan Fletcher's got a crossfire with GX activate. All three of them are here, but Major, he will strike first. Look at this trigger discipline from Juan Fletcher. Finds the bomb planter, but can't quite deal with Xantares. He's made a mess of it. And that's where Xantares will seize the opportunity to completely cut BNE out of the realm. Bomb plant as well. That's as clean as you like it. Cineri, there's not much he can do here in a 1v4. Maybe chip away at a couple of heads. Other than that, yeah, massive start from the Turkish side of Major. He looking to swipe his way through the opposition as well. This one, Fletcher. Well, there's a reason I call this roster the Bad News Deagles at times, because it was Rigon Steagle that got that previous round started, and it's Synopsy in this one. Aiming Esperanto to Calix, avoids the flashbang, but that second one's pretty brutal. He does at least stay alive as GXX. He lands a no-scope, follows up with another onto Major. And this round is looking slightly worse for wear for Eternal Fire now that the actual rifles have come out. Ekblad, it is a nice kill, but still a two-man deficit here, Brandon. And I don't see Xantares fighting his way out of this one.
45 seconds, 2 versus 4. Maybe xCloud could catch off one of these rotates transitioning in towards Library. But no, instead worried about his flank. Xantares now peeking in. GXX is a missed shot. And that provides opportunity. Another player spotted in towards the pit. Molotov flushes out his location. Grenade follow-up. xCloud needs to be the next point of contact.
Had to be a kill there, but Xantares is still alive and kicking. We've seen crazy things.
Xantares. Oh, and a follow-up. Really nice due diligence being acquired. And in fact, that goes out the window. Take a look at Rigon. Flashbang through. Emor dealt with. Xantares next to the chopping block. Calix can poke his head up and play whack-a-mole, but at the end of the day, it's still a 2-for-1.
Yeah, massive play there from the likes of Rigon. And with that Eternal Fire, they seem a little stunted. They barely left T-Ramp the entirety of this round, and that's what let Rigon get so much territory in the first place. Cineri is alone on B for now. That could be a bit of a point of contention, but I might well be lying to you. A rotation comes on over. Juan Fletcher is ready to receive the EF squad. One thing that does concern me a little bit. Okay, Cineri's got no util, but Juan Fletcher does. This should be fine. A 2 versus 3, not too shabby as Calix begins to push on forward. He's ahead of the Molotov, but he's not ahead of Cineri's crosshair. The bomb has been dropped, 30 seconds to go. It's a nice trade from xCloud, but soon the CT rotation should be coming in, encapsulating this T-side effort. It's a nice Molotov, but it's a little too deep. Cineri can still play time, still play the pillar. And with that, xCloud does actually kill Synopsy coming in from behind, but they're not going to realize GXX is there as well. And Cineri, he's done enough. Oh,
Cineri, what a round from him. Just tucked himself into the bomb site the entire time. Make sure that he can just survive. That completely unravels the situation.
Yeah, it's a good thing the Bad News Eagles hadn't completely burnt down their utility. A perfectly timed rotation as well. And oh my goodness me, the nade damage early doors. Rigon is on 12 and Cineri 28. The B defense is severely wounded with that opening onslaught.
Yeah, but they've got double AWP. Rigon, it won't matter too much that he's on low HP, because he can still capitalize and take the kill on Xantares. And that's probably the last thing that Eternal Fire are expecting, right? And double AWP set up immediately brought out by Bad News Eagles. That's a statement of intent. GXX can just post over towards long, doesn't have to move a muscle. Synopsy juggling the grenades. Gonna line up some more. That should be really well placed. Look at Emor taking a chunk, and there's another one where that came from. He doesn't actually look like he's gonna move.
Eternal Fire there, lining themselves up for what looks to be another B hit here. And my God, the reply of utility is brutal. Rigon, another on the AWP despite his lower health bar. Synopsy, a bit of a messy one. Major actually finds a double here, and this does put Eternal Fire back into contention. Oh, but the follow-up nade from GXX is fantastic. The util in this round has been balmy, and Eternal Fire again at a man disadvantage due to such prominent utility and an AWP wall bang. Oh, he's done it again! My God! xCloud 1v2, he doesn't even know where he's being shot from, Brandon!
Bad News Eagles or Prime Astralis in that round. That was unbelievable. And I can't believe I say that about a Bad News... I quite like this from GXX. If he gets this kill, so I was going to say that he was taking initiative and allowing the 4-player lean for Bad News Eagles. But Emor gets the best of him, and suddenly Rigon is in a world of danger.
Yeah, it's not looking fantastic here. He does have a Molotov to delay what could have been a push, but instead, they just spin a rotation over to the B-bomb site, sprint back towards middle. Zentares looks to cover for as long as possible, but the real execute, the real finish is back onto this A-bomb site. Smoke's deployed towards Moto and Synopsy. Well, he's eager not to be trapped on the wrong side of that. Suneri and Rigon, a frag apiece, actually bring the advantage back into their own favor, and Synopsy has a one-way.
What Return of Fire going to do here? Well, it starts off with Emor finding a wall bang through pit. Calix can now come up and overpride a little bit of Overwatch. Eternal Fire, they're going to swarm the bomb site, but Synopsy, he's been undetected the entire time. Calix is now stuck in a 1 versus 2, knows the position, definitely, of Synopsy, but where has Rigon got to? It does not matter. Bad News Eagles.
And make it 4-0 under this iteration of their lineup.
Emor with the melons. Not quite securing anything. Calix has actually tapped out 2 of the server, but the trades go back and forth in favor of Bad News Eagles as they've got complete free real estate of the A-bomb site.
Yeah, the odds go back and forth as well, but they are dead split down the middle at the moment. They might change shortly after this pistol round. As Bad News Eagles look to lock in both a bomb plant and a victory, but Zentares and X-Cloud, they're still alive. They've been quite nifty so far this series. As X-Cloud pushes down the short side, they will be swinging in tandem, it seems, but Bad News Eagles, they're disciplined, they're tucked, and this is a very promising post plant.
No kit, couple of flashes, but Zentares gets spotted out in towards the mini pit. Neri just decapitates him. X-Cloud with a couple, and he's got time to try and make this work, but Synopsy from the top of the box make sure that isn't a reality that we are living in. Bad News Eagles. I don't know if that was deliberate, but it looked like that Molotov landed on top of the balcony windows to kind of give off the audio cue that it was just utility, but in actual fact there was a player in there. Regardless, Rigon finds an opener, and look at the ground that they've taken off the back of it. Don't want to just kind of sit back, rest on their laurels. Bad News Eagles, they're in the bomb site.
Yeah, there is no one on Eternal Fire here to even attempt to fight them. As soon as I say that, Major, of course, catches Rigon. It does even up the numbers a little, but again, perfect utility placement. The IGL's completely cut off from the action. One Flatro cuts through X-Cloud as well. The smoke has faded, but JXX doesn't give a damn. Major falls, and hold on a minute. Emor, he's just snuck behind the entirety of Bad News Eagles, but he cannot isolate the jewels. Suneri slips into coffins, and Juan Flatro is, well, he's behind the final player for the side of Eternal Fire. In fact, he's not behind him, he's underneath him, and with that, Calix will try and run away and save. I don't even know if he'll be afforded it. No, Juan Flatro, that's perfectly placed. Forced on out of it. A lot of Molotovs expended towards top B there. They were definitely worried about a push, but X-Cloud, he's the man pushing first. Juan Flatro catches him completely off guard. And with that, it is a man advantage to B&E, and again, the danger of being overrun by Tech9s is a real possibility.
Look at this push, it's being held right now. Zentares versus Synopsy. This is such a key engagement. And Zentares jiggles and just about adjusts, waiting for GXX, but not ready for him. Little to B&E know it, but that's the entire B bomb site lost. And as a result, Eternal Fire needs to completely have a little bit of a shuffle.
Yeah, they split their defense even further, sending Emor on the AWP, their most prominent player, to solo the site that won't be pushed upon. Major, he's caught between 2 players. Calix finally pulls 2 back, though. It is still a winnable round. He just needs to find one Flatro, but GXX actually cuts him through with the HE. And with that, it's not looking good for Emor. Switches to the M4. He's going to at least try for this retake, but I reckon the crossfire will be a bit too much for him to fight from.
Smoke flash. Ready and waiting to go. Emor starts to begin his crawl, spots out GXX. But the entire time, where has Juan Flatro got to? Position revealed by the bullets, but again, Juan Flatro repositions forward. Smoke trying to entice Juan Flatro in towards the fight. There is a defuse kit on Emor, so he can use that to his advantage. Juan Flatro is completely obscured in the vision by Emor and does deliver a kill up upon the top of the smoke. Bad News Eagle walk down Banana, but thinks better of it. Instead, can be joined in tandem by Major, but the real pressure is going to come onto the A-bomb site players. X-Cloud tucking in towards the pit. Calix is playing anti-flash as well, ready to stand and receive as Bad News Eagles start to flood their way forward. Good smoke isolates Emor on the bomb site. That potentially could be a plant.
Oh, it's looking more than likely now. Cineri cuts down another in Calix, and the Deagles and AK in tandem do amazing work. Major and Xantares, we've seen them in so many retakes of this A bomb site by now. I mean, what's one more between them? Slowly, they ebb their way forwards. At least this time they've got Util, and Major find another opener onto the already low HP Juan Flatro, but Synopsy in the backline decapitates the first. All down to Major now in a 1 versus 1. He's up against the Deagle. Synopsy is low. The USB spam will do it. He's got the defuse kit, and he is single-handedly clawed Eternal Fire onto a 14th. They are 1 away from equalizing. We are 1. History of constantly 16-14ing in best of ones, and Synopsy looks to ensure there is no difference here. Xantares fold the B bomb site open. Another smoke is deployed, and this time it does not miss. Major, he cannot afford to miss either as Synopsy takes presence towards Coffins, but Major actually beats him to it. A nice frag there, evens up the numbers, and it will make this retake possible.
Interesting post plants being adopted. Double banana. In fact, basically a third because they've not crossed the threshold of that CT smoke. Everyone from Eternal Fire has rotated in from CT. Plenty of flashes, plenty of utility to give this one a go, but the bomb is already half ticked.
Yeah, with 20 seconds remaining, Eternal Fire, they need to execute now, and Rigon looks to execute them as they come round this corner. Exval finds the first, but Major, a jumping headshot, by God! They might have done it. GXX last alive, it's a 1v3, but they're not on the bomb. He finds the first, it's a 2-case brain out, GXX! Oh my goodness, what a punishing way to close this map out! And again, for the 3rd time in a row, it is going to be 16-14. Bad news, Eagles. What a stunning way to seal it out.
Just when you think they've done enough, just when you think Eternal Fire are going to bring it back from the brink of defeat, GXX is shrouded in mystery.